Hello, how's it going? You need to unmute yourself.
Sorry. It's going well. How are you?
I am doing great. I am doing just fine. Welcome.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
Teasha. I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
This is fun. So, I would love for you to introduce yourself, and I am going to minimize myself off the screen,
Okay.
and people will be able to hear you and see you.
Okay. Sounds great. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is an honor to be on this platform. Thank you so much, Haley, for the invitation. It is so amazing to be here. I am, as you said, Teasha Janae from Columbus, GA. And I am the founder and CEO of TBLV Management Group, where we teach people the truth about what we were taught to believe about building legacies and living victoriously. Now, I could go on and on and on for days about who I am, what I do, and why I do what I do. But just to kind of summarize a little bit about what TBLV Management Group does is, we are a management company of many different moving parts. My children are youthpreneurs. My husband is a chef. I actually write books and I help other people write books, and the list could go on and on and on. I am also the founder of Step Into Your Power, which is a ministry and a movement. And it's also a book. We're working with women and young girls from the ages of 10 all the way up to, I think the oldest is 65. So we're bridging gaps. We're breaking generational curses. We're doing a lot with this movement to help other women and young girls build their confidence and, step out on faith and do what God has called them to do. And I say all of these things to say, just to let you know that we are about winning and empowerment and growth and confidence. And so, what I like to talk about is how you wake up and you step up and you win with the power that's within you, right? So, I'm also an author of two books. One of them, well, both of them are Wake Up Winning, No Matter What, because losing is not an option. Volume 1 and volume 2. And in these books, we talk about building that winner on the inside of you, right? And so what we want you to understand is that every day that you wake up is a new day to win and just do whatever you were called to do. Just once you understand what that gift is on the inside, you will love to wake up every morning to just get started. Once you put your feet on the ground, you just get going. Now, it's not easy all the time, right? And I can totally agree and understand why it's not easy, because I am that introvert. I love to talk, but I'm an introvert, right? So what I want to talk to you guys about is a couple things today. And just to let you know that being a introvert has caused a lot of issues with striving in entrepreneurship for me, because I was that person that loved to be in the background. I will work and do everything for everybody in the background, and was good at what I do, everything that I do. And I tell people all the time, I tell you a secret. I should have been a Jamaican because I have so many jobs that I do. I do hair. I help you with a weight loss journey, and you can't tell right now, right? Because I've gained weight. However, these are all the things that I've done on my journey through entrepreneurship, where we tend to just try. So we are tripreneurs. But I want to encourage somebody today that you never give up. You never give in, right? You always keep going. our stories and our testimonies become well, our test becomes testimonies, and we need to focus on um, telling those stories, because not only does it heal us, but it also allows us to take another step. And that goes back to my topic of discussion: wake up, step up, and win in power. So every day when you open your eyes, you got to know that there's somebody out there who couldn't open their eyes today. That's a blessing in disguise, right? And that's our first blessing of the day. And so when we wake up in the morning, we want to um, begin to focus on what I need to do for that day. We want to write down, we want to meditate, we want to um, um, write our plans out. And I'm Christian, so I don't push nothing off on anybody, but I do, want to let you know I am a Christian. So I am about biblical principles, and in Habakkuk 2:2-4, it talks about writing the vision and making it plain upon tables, that he who read may run it. And so whether you're a Christian or not, you are at a position where if you just write down what it is that you want to set your mind to do, and you put it up in front of you every morning. It can be on your ceiling when you lay in your bed. It can be on your mirror when you brush your teeth and wash your face in the bathroom. It could be on the door as you walk out. Something to encourage you, to inspire you, to motivate you to keep going, because tomorrow is not promised, right? And so, what we want to focus on is writing down those things that we are called to do. When it comes to our mind, putting it on paper confirms and solidifies a lot of things. And the reason being is because out of sight, out of mind. So, you want to keep it in plain sight. That's something that I love to tell those who I coach, because when we understand different steps that we can make to better our entrepreneurship journey, to level up in business, to just be the best version of ourselves, we have to sometimes encourage ourselves, um, build that confidence level on the inside of us, because sometimes we look for other people to pour into us, to tell us we're doing a good job, but that's not going to always be the case. People are watching you, they are seeing what you're doing, and they want to be involved, but some people don't know how to be involved. Some people may want to participate, but they may be hesitant because of the way that they grew up and the things that they've encountered. And I'm only speaking from experience because that was me. However, when you surround yourself, the other step, surround yourself with people that are like minded, people that are doing things that you want to do. If you are a podcaster, which we have a podcasting platform on the radio for podcasters, and we allow people to get out there and just do, just talk about whatever topics that will help people to win. And so the Winners Connection, TWC podcast radio, is a platform for winners like you and I, so that we can go out there and just be the better version of ourselves. Sometimes it takes that alter ego to just come out and get that word out. Like I said, I'm an introvert, but when you put me in front of people that I can inspire or motivate or encourage to do things, that introvert goes out the window, right? So also know that introverts can make a lot of money. So if you're like me and you're kind of hesitant and you want to sit back and be in the background, just know that you have the gift, you have the power, you have the authority on the inside of you, and the talent to do what God has called you to do, right? So we want to, again, put ourselves in a place of people doing what it is you want to do. you know um when you see them winning, you like, man, if they can do it, I can do it. And when we start to feel that sense of jealousy, because jealousy is pretty bad in the entrepreneurship world because we wonder how they get to do it and we don't. But their mindset is the number one thing that can make them or break them in business. So when you fix your mindset to say, I am powerful, I am winning, I can do all things. You put those things up on those windows and on those doors, and you remind yourself of what you have to do for that day. Those reminders will help you to unlock so much power on the inside of you and build that confidence so that you can go out and do what you need to do, right? So you want to also strategize. That goes back to writing the vision and making it plain. You want to write a strategic plan of action for each thing that you want to do. And one thing that I teach in my finance course is that we talk about strategizing. We talk about planning. With every area in your life, there should be a strategy. Okay, whether it's your finance, whether it's a talk, whether it's mowing a lawn, you got to have a strategic plan. How am I going to focus on this budget to make other things happen with our money? How with writing a book, how do I want that book to flow? Whatever your journey is, you want a strategic plan. um, Starting with the end in mind is how I go about doing this. And what you do is you find out what it is that you want to accomplish with your goal. And then you break it down to small, attainable goals so it's not so overwhelming for you to accomplish. And then you'll say, you know what, I can do this. And you put a date on it. Putting a date on things will also help you to focus and have that tunnel vision to reach that goal on time and in a timely fashion. Um, we want to build our success around strategies. Um, it makes things so much easier to flow the right way. Um, and we can't be silent. That's the other thing. No more silent agents, right? We sit back and we are so quiet because we're introverts, right? And we want to win, but we don't know how. They're like, oh, they're so loud, they're bold, they're unapologetic about who they are, and I'm just sitting back and just observing. No, it's time out for that. What we need to do is tap into that other part of us that wants to win, that wants to step up and level up in business. And when you tap into that, then you become the person who you were called to be without feeling like you're stretched or that you're overwhelmed or what have you. So that all goes back to strategizing and building that confidence level and changing our mindsets, writing things down, never giving up, um, and tell your story. Nobody can tell your story like you can tell your story, right? Nobody knows you like you know you. And so when you have that testimony and you figure out what it is, you tell that testimony. That's what breaks the ice. In telling that testimony, you become this powerhouse of authority. And a lot of people think that we have to get a degree, and nothing's wrong with a degree at all, because I'm going back for my master's. But you don't need a degree to certify yourself in the area of where you are supposed to be. Your actions that you take on a day-to-day basis, the things that you've done, whether you're a mother of 5 or 6 or 7, like I have a bunch of children, right? You're a mother, you can help other mothers with different things that you've accomplished, or you've reached goals with your family. Now you became an expert in your industry, and you don't need a certificate to teach that. So tap into what that is for you and make it work. See, the problem with us is that sometimes we want to do things that other people are doing instead of staying in the lane of where we're supposed to be, right? And so once we stay where we're supposed to be, then everything flows naturally. You can do it in your sleep. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort when it's something that you have been called to do. Now, as I go through this, I do want to speak about a couple tips that I wrote in my book that I think is pretty darn awesome, right? Okay, if I do say so myself. Um, so in our book, we talked a lot about, what are some tips that we can give to someone that could encourage them to keep winning regardless of their current situations. And so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about waking up and winning. We're talking about stepping into our power. And so, in order for you to unlock that winner in you, and here are some 3 tips that I have, and I won't read everything, but um, dream big, dream bigger, and then write it down. Now, I just said that. Write the vision and make it plain. With vision comes provision. The more you write, the more the provision manifests in your life. Um, Sometimes, being human, we think our dreams are big when our limiting beliefs of what we can cause us to do just enough. That's all we do. It causes us to do just enough to get by. But we have the power and authority to do way more than our limiting beliefs. So, being a believer of what it is that you put on that paper, you say, I am, I can, I hope to do, or I will do. These are things that you want to speak it as if it is already. I am. Okay. Um, and so we um, we consciously don't even understand how we use the inner me more than we know to sabotage our way out of being great. So we want to not sabotage ourselves or others, because we do that without even knowing that we're doing it. We put our own limitations on what we can accomplish, and that's because of those limiting beliefs. Take action by creating a winning habit. What is something that you do daily that can be habitual? There are things that we do that are habitual that is not good, right? And we'll constantly do it every day. So, for instance, if you like to eat, I'm a foodie. I love food. And I will eat the food that I'm not supposed to eat, but then I'm expecting a different result in my weight loss journey. Well, that's not going to happen, right? So, when you know what your end result is, you do differently to receive a different result. So that's what they say insanity is, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. Well, we're not doing that, right? And the last thing is, oh goodness, keep learning and don't be afraid to fail. When we fail, we need to start using that failure as a stepping stone to build them up so that we can climb them. When we fail, we now know what not to do the next time. So when we do it again, we can surpass that failure level and then keep going. There's so much gifts and talents on the inside of you guys. I'm so excited. I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody step into their power. I want to see that you are learning from any mistakes that you think you made in business. And if you haven't, you can reach out to people that are winning. And so I'm just excited to be able to tell you these little tips that help me as an introvert and a serial entrepreneur, and hope that it helps someone that's listening on today.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome and So happy to have had you here. Thank you, Tiasha.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And by